Wow, good freaking day to everybody involved. I just said, welcome to the Far Reaches podcast, kids. For those of you watching at home, I just said, hey, we're fixing to record. I think Raleigh's got the shits or something because he's bolted out of his recliner like his ass is on fire. But again, welcome to the Far Reaches podcast. We are your reachers, myself, Micah Wells, Joel Curran, Richard Bradbury in the kitchen, and Raleigh Bigsby probably scraping the foam out of his shorts at this time. We'll find out when he comes back on the air. But welcome. Thanks for joining us once again. This is season 2, episode 3, coming to you live or recorded on Groundhog's Day of all days. So if this seems to be a repeat of something you heard before, chalk it up to Groundhog's Day. We'll be all right. We'll get over it. So again, we're found on most podcast platforms, I think 7 or 8 in total. Also on Facebook, Far Reaches Podcast, and of course on our YouTube channel, the Far Reaches Podcast as well. So if you like to watch, we got you for that. If you're not much of a looker and just want to hear what we have going on, we also have you that on podcast platforms across this great plain and fruited world of ours. So put us on when you're driving down the road. Try to be safe and, keep between the ditches and under your britches, as they would say. So this episode, along with all of our episodes, is brought to you by our really good friends at B&K Auto Salvage, right there in the beautiful Grand Ronde Valley in Baker and LeGrand. And still going on with the special Reacher promo. So with over 1,200 used vehicles in stock and a large selection of 4x4 parts available, and at this time of the year, you never know when you're going to need any of those. B&K Auto Salvage is your Eastern Oregon one-stop shopping in the automotive world. They don't have corn dogs and shit yet, but they might soon. So when you get in there, use promo code REACHER. That's REACHER, promo code REACHER. Get bigger discounts on pulled parts and a bump in those scrap rates. And it's really about the more you spend, the more you save. That's how B&K Auto Salvage works. So we'll kick right off. We keep losing the reachers, but they always circle back, kind of like bad pennies or checks. So Richard's off screen right now doing something probably. Raleigh's having some pasta fettuccine. Joel's looking very intent and studious. So we're going to go with him first for what we deem as our reach around section. That's the weekly update from all of us here. We take a little trip around the horn. So Mr. Joel, what's your reach around this week, good sir?
Glad I look studious because I'm sitting here at my work computer desk.
I'll say it just exudes from you. So congratulations. Yes.
My week was pretty good. So after the last podcast, I told you guys I went to that butcher shop. There's a new butcher shop in my neighborhood. Bought my very first piece of meat.
That's what she said.
There you go. Waiting for the joke. What did I get? I got a ribeye without a bone.
Boneless ribeye, I believe. Yeah.
What did that cost me? It sent me back about $44.
Yeah.
Seemed
it
a
looked
lot.
Like it weighed about 18 to 20 ounces, though. Probably it was a good inch and a half thick or so, and good size. Yeah. So it was over a pound, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, it was I forget how many ounces. Like 1.36 pounds.
Yeah. So
next time tell them you want the Mary Moon coat because she likes the bone.
So that was pretty successful. I went back the next day and got some of their ground beef, and I made smash burgers.
Oh, nice.
Those were good, man. I nailed that too.
What was the burger price?
Was it what?
What was the price of the burger a pound?
Raleigh. There's your speaker at. We need your headphones so the world can hear you.
Didn't I tell you guys this?
You told us about the steak, but you didn't tell us you went back and got hamburger. No.
Yeah, I got $1.5 pounds, and it was like $26, something like that.
A burger?
Yeah, $23.
Oh, okay, that's much better. Yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed like a lot too, but whatever.
Well, if it comes with a hand job or something, it's probably a pretty good deal. So,
well, you just kind of I just trust their meat that I'm actually getting something good rather than going to like the shithole grocery store in the neighborhood and getting some brand that looks like it's very big, but why have I never heard of this one? Like, who's this for?
Hey, as long as you're happy with what you're getting, dude, that's the main thing. That's what she said. So rock on. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rest of the week, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but this has been the most consuming week I've ever had with the stock market. It's been exhilarating. I've just been watching the GameStop news,
Yeah.
and then how it tails into AMC and Bed Bath and Beyond and others, and
You
the
probably
media
forgot the Super Bowl's
manipulation
even
has
coming
been
up. Oh, crazy.
yeah. It's
You picked a great time to wean yourself off of football gambling and replace that with the stock market. It couldn't be better, man.
Yeah.
Well, good timing. Yeah.
Because this is such a slow time in the stock market.
Yeah.
Wait till it really gets amped up.
Speaking of amped up, Richard, you want to give us your reach around?
good. Making lunches.
I don't know what he's
We're
doing.
totally amped up here, and I have no control over the volume behind me. So
Okay.
try to get through this quickly. This is our best thing.
No, this is a weekly update. Reach around. Yeah.
Oh, weekly update.
Yeah.
Things are going good. Closed a couple houses today. Sold them out. Went out and showed some more.
Nice.
What was I gonna say? And I drove around all day and showed houses and thought about everything I was going to say. And now that I'm here, completely gone.
Well, if it comes back to you, we'll be around for a while. So, raise your hand, buzz back in.
I had some.
Daily double, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's gone. I'm sorry.
Good thing we're not live, because right now we're up against Flint Rasmussen again.
You so remind me of my anthropology teacher in college. So my point is, what was my point? Anyways, recently on my trip to Romania, and it was the best. Yeah, so I think Flint's, he's coming on live same time we are recording. It's out of self-defense. I think he knows we're gunning for him. Yeah. Probably sleepless nights, waking up in cold sweats, flashbacks to Pendleton. Yeah.
Fame is fleeting.
Yes, it's a flame that must not ever go on. Ralls, since you got your headset on, and I think you scarfed in your linguine, you got a weekly update for our reach around session?
Just started calving some heifers this last week, and the weather's been abnormally warm and windy, which I think it's going to subside for a while, it looks like now. So that'll be good, because the wind sucks and the warm weather creates mud. So neither one of those I want. And let's see. I go pick Kelly up from the airport tomorrow. She'll be back. So
yeah, that'll be good for you. You're flooding my Facebook feed with like these longing I miss you Facebook posts.
No,
it's like half my feed.
That was kind of funny. She sent me a deal, and she said they've asked to request my presence for another contract. And before I could say anything, she said, and I told them no. And of course, like I mentioned on there, and we all know Barry Qualley, who was on here with us one time. He's very poetic in his words, and he's always told me, he said, it's a damn poor cowboy that can't find his wife a second job. and that moment just brought me back to a Barry Qualley quote, so I thought I'd just share it with everyone. So
most definitely share worthy. Yes, that's what Facebook's for.
No, but that's kind of been the gist of the week. It's just been feeding cows and I started to remodel our bunkhouse too. So
outstanding.
I've been tearing into that and have all the rooms gutted, and the sinks tore out, and got the walls. The guy that lived in there before was a heavy smoker, and so I tore all the carpets and put Kills paint up, and now I'm ready to start. I've ordered some lumber. I'm going to do rough cut board and bat lumber on the walls, and knotty pine hardwood floors. And
naughty. Yeah.
So it'll be kind of a rustic little old bunkhouse again. That's what I've been doing.
Perfect for Joel when he comes out to do some free summer labor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's no Wi-Fi, so you know.
It
I thought you
won't
said
work for
wife
me.
at first. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we might be able to find you a wife.
Tell Jess. Yeah. Honey, it's Eastern
New
Oregon
York
tradition.
City.
The wife comes with the bunkhouse. I don't know what to tell you. It'd be rude to say no. You know, it's a tradition, honey. Yeah.
It's like, we'll get you a pick. You'll get a pick in between a few.
Yeah,
Like, we're not just going to assign you one.
That would be crude. Yes.
Are you gonna Airbnb? Are you gonna put it on Airbnb?
you know,
The wife?
actually, the wife. Actually, I thought about advertising for like a couples ranch retreat, weekly, just get away and come stay at the ranch, and because I know there's a lot of folks, I mean, that do that, and they take bigger groups on, but with the size of the bunkhouse and things, it'd be kind of neat to possibly look into that endeavor as far as kind of city slickers adventure, you know.
Just depends on how close the group is on how many you can fit in there. So
Yeah, and
Ours has been.
what's that?
I was gonna say I would strongly suggest you do. Ours is busier than I expected it by like 3 times.
Oh, outstanding, Richard.
The Airbnb.
We already booked up. Yeah, we're already booked into July.
Oh wow.
So
No, I'll
crazy.
have to off air here. I'll visit with you.
Yeah, I
about
had no idea.
rates and
Yeah,
rates and
it's-
whatnot. So
I've been
No, that'd
missing
be
my
cool.
Airbnb. Yeah.
that'll be cool.
It'd be neat is to, like, at like Halloween time, you could rent it out to some city folk. And they're going to be scared to begin with, but it could be some sort of experience where you set up sort of a terrorizing experience for them. Like, you don't actually like harm them very badly, but then
A life
They
on
would
the
Very
love it.
farm.
badly.
You just ask my wife. A day on the farm with me is terrorizing enough.
Oh,
You know.
I just see that. Attention, city folk, come get the shit scared out of you. We won't hurt you very badly. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Pilgrims beware.
Yeah. Joel's out there hanging up signs and shit in the subway. Yeah. Little tear offs. Yeah.
trade nurse on staff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Payment up front, please. Yeah.
No, I think that's a great idea. So,
That would be awesome. Yeah, it's fun too. You meet some cool people.
yeah, it's just we're so far removed and but yet in a really picturesque place. People want to come here anyways. So if you I think there's opportunity in trying to sell the ranch experience with it too.
Oh yeah. Charge you extra to come work the crap out of you.
Yep.
Oh.
So,
only an Oregonian would see Airbnb as an opportunity to meet cool people.
Sorry.
Like
I
trying to
did,
make
though.
friends on Airbnb.
I met some great people when I had Airbnb, dude. I still keep in touch with several of them.
It's like
Absolutely, yeah.
Friendly Midwestern Airbnb experience.
Well, I was,
right there.
from Oregon, living in Nebraska. Does it get any more high than that? Yeah. But, yeah, I had several people that stayed several years in a
And then
row. There
there's-
was a writer that rode her bicycle. She came into town. She's a freelance writer, and she had like this 200-mile bike ride she went on every year, a big race. And she did like 2 or 3 years. She stayed at my hacienda. It's pretty cool. And then, yeah, several people I've kept in touch with. The nurse who lives in Boise now, I stayed there at her house 2 years ago, and I rode my motorcycle out. Met some cool people. Some people were weird as shit, but most people were pretty cool.
I want to hear more about this nurse.
beware.
Great gal. We had the same taste in women. I'll put it that way. we had a blast. So she's like, hey, you want to get some pizza and watch football? I'm like, hell yeah. So she'd order pizza and we'd fucking watch football, dude. It was great. Yeah. So one of my favorite people. She's a
That's
total
cool.
kick in the ass.
There's an agriculture oriented one called Yonder, and then you can add on services.
Oh, ooh,
So that's
really?
pretty cool.
Milkmaid? Not that kind of service is what you're saying. No milkmaid or
No, like if
Farmer's
you want
daughter.
to do like the Dude Ranch thing, yeah. Yeah, the the cow milking experience. Get up at 4,
Yeah.
milk at 4, wait till 4 in the afternoon and milk, and then go to bed and do it again.
Yes. Repeat. Yeah. Son, we don't have a cow. Yeah.
Oh God, that's
I don't remember if it was Rube Long or Hugh Jackman. They wrote that book, the Oregon Desert, that had some folks out visiting, and they were going to go for a ride. And the one guy's like, dude, I've never ridden a horse ever. And he goes, don't worry, this horse has never been ridden. You guys get along great. So always makes me laugh.
well. What's your week look like, Micah?
Oh, we had some great adventures around here. Still tracking down the old plumbing issue on the house. Not me. And then I got a wild hair and started been trying on the simplify kick a little to a varying degree. And so I bought a used 2000 Toyota 4Runner, and that's going to be my everyday driver. So did a lot of looking all around at different stuff and found it, and it was like literally 10 blocks from my house where the dude lived that had it. So I just picked it up yesterday, I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of my 2018 maxed out Tundra and switch to a nicely fully paid off 2000 4Runner. Yeah. So
Perfect.
yeah, it's towards that simplification and redistribution of my resources, if you will. Yes. So more fun. So yeah, excited to have that. And it just kind of happened. So I get random ideas like that every once in a while. Next thing you know, I've done shit. It's like, oh, wow, bought a rig. So there
Perfect.
we are. Yeah, exactly.
Comes equipped with a Scraps dog box in the back.
It does indeed. Yeah, she's digging the hell out of that. Yeah. So yeah, fold down seats, Scrapsville in the back. It's basically like a covered in El Camino at this point. So and yeah, it's a little chilly this week. Cooled off. Had some wind today as well. I was getting fuel and I was like, it's actually freaking cold. It was like 34 with a wind down here. That's like stepping out of the shower and walking outside. It's chilly willy. Yeah. So
Wow.
indeed. Yes.
Yeah, we got a foot of snow yesterday.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Yeah, hadn't had a big nor'easter. They call it a nor'easter.
Nor'easter. Yeah.
We hadn't had one of those in the winter for a few years.
Yeah, I listened to Dan Patrick Sports Talk, and they were talking about the storm blasting through. They're up in the Connecticut there, so probably right up through there.
Yeah.
Good snow. Good snow. Well, that's a pretty dandy reach around, I might say. Thank you, boys. All entertaining and exciting. It spurred a little bit of a discussion. Let's jump in. Richard, you ready to talk about your hardcore history, you menace? Or we had some great feedback just in general on switching to a podcast or a book on tape to talk about, and kind of been thinking about like this is more like the entertainment section of the podcast. And so this last time we talked about the Wrath of the Kahns, which was about a 17-hour really entertaining historical depth into Genghis Khan by a guy named Dan Carlin, and Richard had picked it out for us to explore. And I really enjoyed listening to it, just the detail. And but Richard, why'd you pick this, and what's your main thoughts?
Well, I think of all the hardcore histories, it's the best one.
Okay.
I mean, they're all really good, like the Celtic Holocaust and what is it?
King of Kings and Destroy. Yeah.
Or talking about Japan rising and all those kind of things. But I think that Genghis Khan, for some reason I think he's just a little bit more passionate about it than the other ones.
Well, yeah, if you were back in college, I think he was talking about that kind of stuff, and I think that's one of the reasons maybe he did it is because of experience in college and wanting to write about it more.
Yeah, it's just such a unknown story. I mean, everybody knows there's this guy, Genghis Khan, but how many people know that he went over and kicked the hell out of the Russians when they thought they were when they're basically knights in armor and stuff. And my favorite story about the whole thing is he's coming back from the Russian steppes, and there was a Muslim tribe that had migrated north, and they took advantage of him in this weak moment of weakness. And he sort of retreated, escaped, went back and rebuilt his army, and then came back and ran them all the way back down into Africa or something crazy like that. So what they thought they were getting when they saw him returning was much different than what happened to him. But yeah, just that it just always blows my mind that 1 in 6 people have his DNA in them. I mean, if that doesn't make him the world's greatest conqueror ever, I don't know what does. So I just thought it was a really well done podcast. Mm-hmm. So I'll let you.
What was that, Joel?
Oh no, I heard you say nothing. It's gonna make
sound like Chris Farley on Tommy Boy. I was just checking the specs on the girder on the over. Never mind. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna make a joke, but you'd have to. Now the timing's all fucked up.
Oh shit.
So.
Well, we can rewind it. I could say, he has like 1 in 6 people in the world, has got his genetic material in him.
Yeah, and then earlier Richard said somebody took advantage of Genghis Khan.
Oh, so then.
So who? We have 1 in 6 have that guy's DNA in us, probably.
So that guy was even smarter, sort of like, going to the source, so to speak. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It was worthy. Yeah. Good try. Yeah. Ralls, did you get a chance to listen to any of that?
Yeah, I listened to part of it. Of course, it's obviously lengthy, but I thought it was I thought it was unique and neat to listen to as far as just see where China is today and where they were then. The I don't know, the turmoil and the disruption throughout Asia and the Muslim community scattered back, into Afghanistan and all that country. The history behind the fighting there and to where they're at today and the constant battles that have just never settled, it kind of lends itself to where we're at today with the West controlling things a lot in that part of the world. I don't know, I thought there was some unique similarities into some of the battles that, when societies have gotten stagnant and where we're at today, there's some similarities in some of those. So that was kind of what I took away from what I did listen to. So
yeah, I like Dan's the way he frames stories. His I guess his cadence, even when he's doing the podcast itself or the book, however you want to frame it, I think it's just good to listen to. It really kind of holds my attention, I think, more than a lot of people do. I tend to wander off pretty quickly. And so I think it's a combination of the topic for sure, but also his style and way of telling a story. And I think he does unfold it well, I think. And so, you learn as you go along with, and you never feel like you have to stop and go back. Like, what was that dude doing again? And it just kind of drags you along really well. So I think there's a lot of talent and obviously thought into how he prepares what he's writing about. I'm going to tell the story on. I think that really shines through for me because it really kept me. I found I was listening to it going to bed. I'd put it on and set a timer for set it off or go off for an hour. And then first thing in the morning, I'm turning it on again to listen to some more. And then throughout the day, if I take a break, it was a really good break for me during the day, take 30 minutes or so and just turn it on and kind of just listen, which was really fun too. So I think especially as much screen time as I get on some days, it was good just to have that turned off and just listening to that and kind of thinking about it. And then my mind kept tying in also, the ranch girls are going to go to Mongolia and they're going to go ride in that race in a couple of years and some of that same ground. And I had friends I was in grad school with who were from Mongolia. And so all that shit's clanking around in my brain at the same time. So for me, it was quite the festival, but it was just great to listen to. And I'm probably going to listen to it again in 6 months.
Yeah. What was your take, Joel?
I will say I did. Oh,
Sounds fascinating, Micah.
That's your
Yeah,
take, answer. You didn't listen to it, did you?
I didn't listen to it. No.
Yeah, that's fine. You could have faked it, and we'd have known. So we appreciate you saying, "Hey, I didn't." Yeah. I mean, you don't have a subway ride anymore. What do you do? I mean, do you like fake commute, like down the hallway, and like pretend like you're not at work for a long time?
Yeah, that's right. There's no opportunity to listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I'll put like Joe Rogan or Bill Burr on, but it feels kind of weird just to sit there and
Bill
not
slays
do
me,
anything.
dude. Yeah.
What's really impressive about Bill Burr is that he just sits there by himself and hits record and then talks nonstop for an hour.
And has no problem locking that out, I'm sure. Yeah.
And he comes up with really good material like during that rant.
No, dude,
So
it's by far my favorite podcast out there. No doubt about it.
just
Yeah.
truly one of the most talented people in the world.
Because then he comes back for the Thursday afternoons, before Friday, checking in on Monday, a little shorter version, but like 2 of those a week. And you can count the number of guests he's had on one hand, dude. He hardly ever has guests on. He just freaking rambles about crazy shit too, which is what I love about it. It's just all over the board. And I like how he's just this is what I want to talk about because I think it's funny, or maybe it pisses you off. I'm still going to talk about it. So anyways, we got a wheel in the ditch there talking about Bill Burr, but that's what he's all about. So yeah. Richard.
I like when he answers viewer mail, like gives love advice.
Oh yes.
That is hilarious.
That's because
I do think there is a commonality that I have in all the history books that I've read. There's some bookends as to tough bastards in the world. And the Genghis Khan and his bunch were really tough, but they only get so far into India, and then they get their ass handed to them, and they have to go back. Same thing happened with Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm.
Forever, I was like, who is so tough in India? And then finally, my dad's like, the Sikhs. The Sikhs are the ones. And I said, the Sikhs, the nice people that have the turbans and are good to everybody. And he goes, yeah, they're like the supreme warriors of the world. I was like, how is that? He goes, look at their flag. Go study them. Yeah. And I always like the story about the Cherokee. I always like the story about the Cherokee Nation. They all through the Midwest, they just sort of steamrolled over everybody. And they headed on down south, and they went through the Navajos and all those guys. But then they ran into the Apaches, and they're like, that's as far south as our empire is going to go. We're done.
Today, my jurisdiction
like,
ends here.
Yeah. And then they headed north. They got up to Montana and ran into Blackfeet. They're like, yep, that's northern edge of our border. So, as tough as you are on this planet, there's always somebody tougher you're going to run across. So even Genghis Khan ran into the Sikhs, and he was like, holy that's enough. We'll just go eat.
New rule today, no more than 49 weeks ride from home, and then we turn around. Yes.
And that's why that might be one of the reasons why Afghanistan has never been able to go that way also. So
that's what she said. Yeah.
Guys, like those very nice guys that are driving the cabs and the trucks and everything, might not want to push them too much. They might go a little Bruce Willis on them.
You got to watch those still waters run deep, man. Yeah. And for those of you watching, you twisted bastards, you see, there's a duck on your wall in your house, and I have to know, is that an ode to the cement duck from college, or what's the story there?
Well, I hadn't thought about it, but now I'm going to reflect on it fondly.
When we were all in school in LeGrand, there was always adventures on the way home from downtown social hour. And one of these particular evenings, a gentleman who remained nameless showed up at our house with like a 40-pound concrete duck that obviously had followed him home from somebody's yard. And so, of quite quickly, some of our friends from Oregon State campus of the AGR took the duck when they left, smuggled it out in a duffel bag, if you will, along with one of my coats and some other shit. While we'd had the duck, it had some roping horns duct taped on it and a few brands. And so then it made its way to Corvallis, and we would get random pictures of the duck at different parties. And then the sumbitch got like back to like Missouri. It like made the rounds. People would steal this duck and drag it all over hell. And we finally got it back several years later, and it was covered in random brands and all sorts of shit. But it made its way back finally, along with my coat. After when my coat got stolen, we were going to a state college. When I got my coat back, we were actually at a university. That's how long my coat was gone with the duck. And so I have fond memories of the concrete duck. And so when I saw that at Richard's Wall, I had to giggle. So
I don't think to this day anybody knows where the duck is.
I don't know now. No, it came back and then it was gone, so.
It was liberated again. That duck was meant to be free.
Own recognizances, yes.
When you went to Oregon State, it was still called Oregon State College?
I started at Eastern Oregon State College, EOSC, yeah.
Oh, what is that?
That's where Eastern Oregon University is now, yeah.
Oh.
I actually have gear that says EOSC on it, yeah.
Before that, it was just Eastern Oregon College. It was EOC.
Yeah, EOC. So technically, I got my degrees as Oregon State, but part of my undergrad I did at Eastern Oregon State University College of EOC. So, yeah.
Just doesn't seem like a real college.
Hardly is, yeah.
I mean, it is. It's just weird. I think because it's so close to home.
See, it was good.
And they don't have like a big football team,
This was Eastern Oregon State College. Yeah, I mean, it was like a good 7 hours from home for me, so that's quite a ways. Actually, I didn't really have a home when I went there. I was kind of just camping in Pine Creek for a while. Yeah, so.
I always loved to wake up in one of the houses we lived in when I wasn't living in the basement.
Yes.
I was that dirty secret. But I would wake up and I'd look out my window and the eagle cat. You could see the eagle cats, and I always thought that was great. So
yeah, that'd be nice. And it'd be cheap together.
It's great because we got Oregon State classes. We had Oregon State teachers. Some of our classes were Eastern, but we had Oregon State degrees. And then we did some of the pilot projects for remote learning, and we brought Dr. Obermiller over for a couple of wild rounds of learning. And so, we were one of the first classes to do the remote learning where you could take the class and it was all on video, and you had your little microphone and you'd push your button question in Eastern. So, it was really, we could do like 19 podcasts just on our times at EOU for sure. But that was good. Good degree, good times, good learning. Dominated. So I think everybody enjoyed the topic, if you will. I don't know if everybody got through it as far as listener wise, but I know people were digging through and enjoying the listen, and so they'll continue to do that as well.
Before we get too far away from this, because I don't think we'll ever get back to it.
Good point.
I'm just curious. Out of the let's say 5 Oregon universities, so Oregon, Oregon State, Eastern Oregon, Western Oregon, Portland State, Southern Oregon. Which school do you think has the best looking women?
Best looking women.
I say Eastern, easy. Or Pendleton.
Sort of biased. If you look on the national level, I don't know. I know several people that were in Playboy are from Oregon State.
Yeah. I met one of them. I met that Sarah Jane once.
Sarah Jane, cool. Yeah. There's some really strong Insta-hoes are from Oregon State. I think beauty's in the eye of the beer holder, and so that would definitely put it at Eastern for sure.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. But I think Eastern, way better than like University of Oregon, and Southern and Western.
Eastern girls.
Oregon State's all right, pretty good. I bet Eastern's way better per capita. Central
Oregon State was pretty good, but but I think Eastern for sure. Eastern was a plethora
Should have gone
of,
there.
it was bueno. We never had
I
any
would-
shortage of entertainment. Yeah.
Boise State.
I would say Eastern
incredible.
Oregon.
What's that, Richard?
I'd say Eastern Oregon University would be the place where you're least likely to get shot for trying to rape a girl.
Well, she would shoot you. Yes.
That's
It's
what I'm saying, yeah.
such a random
What?
drop in, Richard. I don't know.
Well, no, I'm just saying the type of girls that go there are sort
Is
of
that a
ranchy
perk?
girls.
I saw that in the pamphlet. That's what brought me there. Yeah. No, I think he's saying like,
You're most likely to get shot for doing it at
I
Eastern.
think, or they're confident, independent, self-assured women too. So they'll tell you to go pound sand or punch you in the mouth. So
And they have a gun.
yeah.
Let's say the very first fight I saw at Eastern was not between two guys.
No, it was it Carly? Anyway, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but it was pretty epic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Copenhagen everywhere. Supremely fond memories. Yeah, I would have to agree too, per capita especially. Yeah, I mean, who could forget Rack Attack walking down the sidewalk in a miniskirt and high heels, sliding down the sidewalk on the ice? You know, just shit like that.
I was gonna say, the first time I visited there, the first two girls I met were strippers.
Yeah, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, good friends, good friends.
Yeah.
One of them always wore boxers for underwear. That was so hot for some reason. I don't know why, but anyways, before we get too sidetracked, yeah.
Because we were 20. Because we were 20.
That's 21, world traveler just out of the Navy, and I was still impressed. Yeah. Nothing like being a 21-year-old freshman. You know, that has its perks. And back then, too, we didn't have to live on campus. So we might have stayed on campus every once in a while, but we certainly didn't live on campus. Yeah. So. I think Joel might be looking for a yearbook to rub one out to or something. I'm not sure what he's got going on. There you are, sitting down gingerly. Yeah. Like the awkward sixth grader going to the board to do the problem in math. Yeah.
Ed, brew a cocktail.
Are you brewing a cocktail now? Outstanding.
Well, I just made one.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound near as. Yeah, I like brew
cold.
better.
It's cold
Create?
cocktail.
You had to create one. You had to build one. You could build it. Yeah, build a cocktail.
Yeah.
I like that.
Built.
You could create
Built.
one. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I think that's perfect segue into this week's intellectual moment of the week. The Far Reaches intellectual moment of the week, brought to you by those squirrely sons of bitches down there at Pendleton Mixer and Cigar. JR and the gang, they do a good job for everybody. You know, they're there every time you need them. They're there when you don't want them. As we all know, you know, when times are good, people are going to drink. When times are bad, you're probably going to drink. And we suggest when you do, you swing by Pendleton Mixer and Cigar and tell them, good day, shopkeep, and let them know that the Reachers sent you. So this week's intellectual moment of the week is one of my all-time favorite quotes. I usually get it all messed up. It's not that complex. It just doesn't fit my brain, but I've written it down so we can share and discuss, and I think we can all appreciate it. So without further blabbering, here's the quote. It says, good judgment comes from experience, and experience, well, that comes from poor judgment, and that's from our good friend Dean Martin. So I thought appropriate for all of us in this week with the stock market stuff going on in all our random lives, that good judgment comes from experience, and experience, well, that comes from poor judgment. So, Mr. Joel, what say you?
Gosh, where to start? Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from poor judgment.
Exactly. Yeah.
God.
It's a deep shit in it. That's why I always mess it up
Yeah,
when I
I
say
like
it.
that.
But yeah. Like
Yeah, it's a
basically,
good quote.
you know, yeah.
How it relates to the stock market, I guess. Well, this week, okay, you could apply that to what happened this week with, there was a massive pump. You could call it a pump or a squeeze, but
That's that's definitely what she said. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Best if you do them at the same time, right? Concurrently.
Kinky.
Yeah.
Carry on, please. Yes.
Some old '90s names: AMC, which they do the movie theaters, and then GameStop, BlackBerry, BlackBerry, Nokia.
Yeah.
And then even Blockbuster. And Blockbuster is interesting because I actually looked into this. I thought it'd be cool I think there's a lot of value in that name alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did some research to try to figure out how I could actually invest in that. And the only thing I found was that I think Dish Network owns the brand, but there's still a liquidation ticker over the counter for Blockbuster. And I think it's just there to pay out its like debts. But
like
even
the late
that,
fees still. Yeah.
Yeah, that skyrocketed like 200, no, not 200, like 2,000% or something this week. Yeah, like I said, I've been watching GameStop news all week, been glued to it. Took a couple days off work.
Really? So you did a deep dive then?
Yeah, well, like I put money into GameStop like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
From the very beginning, and I've been looking at Wall Street bets for more than a year, right?
Yeah.
I think when we started this, we talked about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was just incredible what happened. What happened is that, should we talk about it? Do you think,
Absolutely.
Or does everybody know?
I think we need to fold it out again because A, it's been a few days since this first erupted. I think B, what people did hear on what let's call TV or the news was scattered and probably unfocused to a large degree. And I think it'd be great to hear from your point of view and insight for sure what went down and where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge what other people know because what I'm looking at, I don't think most people dig that deep into it to find it. And what I did see on the mainstream news was just fucking outrageous. It's criminal.
Yes.
So what happened is GameStop is everyone knows what they do. They're a retail store that sells video games. And in the current environment, people download video games now. So the general consensus is this company is going nowhere. They're going to go out of business. So several hedge funds and whoever else, they shorted it. And shorting, so a couple of people reached out to me and asked about what's going on to explain it simply. But shorting is, let's say there's 100 shares of a company, 50 of them are held by insiders. So people like on the board of directors, institutions and whatnot. Well, not even institutions, but board of directors and closely held shares that you maybe have to actually announce before you sell it. You can't just sell these shares. So they're off the market. So you got 50 shares left. Let's say 30 of them are held by institutions like BlackRock, Sequoia, or whoever. I don't know who owns them, but they're in ETFs. So they're wrapped up as well. So now we have 20 shares left. This was all sparked when Ryan Cohen from Chewy joined he bought 13% of the company or something like that. So he acquired a whole shit ton of shares. And he's a tech guy, so does growth companies. And so people got excited that maybe GameStop is going to turn a corner. So this, like a year ago on Wall Street Bets, this guy, Deep Fucking Value, did some really good due diligence on GameStop, and he went all in on it, all his money on this idea. And part of it was that, so 80, we said 80 of the shares are already wrapped up. Hedge funds have shorted, which means they've borrowed shares, unnamed shares. Just I'm borrowing these, and I'm going to bet that the price is going to go down. And then when it does, I will buy those shares at that price at $1 a share, and I'll return them to you, and I'll keep the difference.
Okay.
I don't know why you would be shorting a stock that was sitting about $5 a share, like hoping it goes to zero, because your
That was one of
maximum
my
return
thoughts. Yeah.
is
And
$5.
how big is your potential to begin with? But was it
But
volume?
let's say, yeah, these aren't exact numbers, but let's say that let's say conservatively, there's 40 shares floating around that you can actually get your hands on if you pay the right price. They shorted like 70 of them. So they shorted way too many. And that causes, when they, at a certain point, when the price doesn't drop and instead it goes up, people are going to cash out. They're going to request their shares back, and you have to like pay up. And because there's not many, the price goes up, and it goes into $1,000 a share for a short squeeze. So that's what happened with GameStop. And then suddenly they shut down the buy side of the equation on Thursday. This is where the deep fucking state stepping in to prove that nothing matters. It's all controlled. You got to play with it. If you can still win, but you got to play within the rules. If you get out of hand, or you like, if you win the game, no, you didn't. We're going to start over for you. And they did this so they compromised the integrity of the market. And they're playing it off like it's nothing. And they got the media on it. CNBC is on TV, just mad as hell. Jimmy Kimmel blamed Russia.
I heard that. I actually saw that clip and my hair fell out.
It was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is very simple. This is literally Reddit people and people that read the Reddit, and that's how they learn about it. They see this price going up. If you buy and hold, the price is going to go up because they're fucked.
Well,
they can't cover the shorts.
They saw the short happening and they said, wait a minute, like, it's because if you're looking for it and you're seeing it, it's out there in the open. You see what's happening, right? Is that correct? If you're watching, you're going to see like people are buying this and they're shorting it.
Yeah, you can look at the order book. So if you look at, you can see what the bids and the asks are, and right now what they're doing is it's called a short ladder. So you're selling shares, but you're selling them at increments of less than a penny and lots of like 1,000. So you're just trying to sell all these, and it just drives down the price. And then the other hedge fund then sells them, short ladders them back, and they just exchange hands. So they've managed to, and I don't know this for sure, that nobody does. This is just like speculation, and this is what it looks like, that they've driven the price down from, well, first it got to like 500, and then Robinhood was like, oh, you can't buy anymore. You can still sell though. It's like, yeah, but our entire strategy is just not selling.
Yeah. And
don't sell and buy.
Robinhood is what's called like a retail platform where, I can go on Robinhood and buy stuff, basically.
Yeah, but then you get into Robinhood. The only way Robinhood makes any money is through giving their orders to Citadel to process. And Citadel is the fucking company that is short GameStop. They're the ones that stand to lose all the money because they overshorted a stock, which I think is illegal. And nobody's talked about this. You don't hear this talk about it on the news about this. What they talk about on the news is that Reddit, white supremacist Reddit with Russian collusion is populism driving up prices and trying to destroy the economy.
They're going back to that. Well, yeah, it's racist.
The vitriol coming from people like Jimmy Kimmel, and then all the talking heads on CNBC, they are just mad, and it's incredible. Then they took the weekend to divert attention to the silver squeeze, and they were like, look at silver. Silver's popping. No, it's not.
Look over here.
Not.
Look over here. Yeah.
Completely. 3 million people on Reddit aren't going to move the price of a fucking, I don't know how many trillions of dollar market cap silver is, but yeah, not even gonna make it move a penny with that kind of money. It's just like, it is so clear. If anybody had any doubts about fake news, this is like the most egregious example. Well, not. I mean, it's not that egregious.
No, it's just one of many that hits a different sector of people. And that's been my point for a long time, is like, they're going to keep hitting sectors of people where it impacts them directly. And you say, wait a minute, this is bullshit. You know, when everybody, and I'm going to tie it in and you might think I'm nuts, but when Parler got kicked off of Amazon and the App Store and everything else for saying things that people didn't like, everyone's like, well, that, you know, that's kind of conservative, blah, blah, blah. They broke the rules. And then when it comes around to this thing, like with all the Reddit users and people on Robinhood and all these free or I guess they're free platforms, where average schmucks are buying retail stock, and they shut that shit down. Unprecedented. They shut it down for nothing illegal. They didn't say it was illegal. They just shut it down and said, you can't buy anymore. That hit a whole different segment, and people were like, what the hell is this? Like, the outrage from some people. The guys at Barstool, I really, really love listening to them talk about it. They were even on Tucker one night, just talking about the blatant corruption. It was like in plain sight, and nobody says a word about it or calls it out. They talked to the Biden administration about it, and the first thing it says is, we have the first woman Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
Congratulations. I don't give a shit if she's purple and from Mars. What are you doing about this situation where people are shutting down these trading because they don't like it? You know, that's the point here. Not congratulations on your diversity hire. Who cares if they're the best person? Proud of you. What are you doing about the situation, man? That's the whole point.
Joel, what trading platform do you use, Joel?
I was on Robinhood. I still am. So that's where I was doing all this. And so the restriction, like, I already had shares, so I didn't need to buy any, but this happened before, like back in less than a year ago, there was big problems with Robinhood at towards the beginning of the pandemic, and people couldn't get out of their positions. They were just crashing. They're just super unreliable. And I should have known better, but so anyway, I've closed out all my stuff, and I've got everything in my new positions, and so now I'm getting a big boy brokerage account. So I'm moving it over to JP Morgan's brokerage. Robinhood is like, they're clearly corrupt. They have an excuse, and it makes some sense, but the optics of it with their relationship with Citadel, and Citadel is the one that retail is up against right now. And it just looks shitty. And maybe we should look at that. I didn't know that's how they made money until this happened. And suddenly, so Citadel can front run Robinhood clients. Awesome. Like, retail just gets completely fucked all the time, and this is bringing it to light. So yeah, I'm moving. I've already started the process to move it all out of Robinhood.
I had a Robinhood account. I had no money in it, and I logged in the other day when all this shit was going on, and it says, we had to restrict your account. We apologize for the inconvenience. Please contact support if you have any questions. And I hadn't traded on Robinhood in probably 6 months, but I
it's
logged
so
in
unfortunate,
that day, and that's what it said.
It's unfortunate because Robinhood's like a really awesome user interface. It's very simple to use and buy and sell and limits. It's very intuitive. And then I'm looking at my new one. I'm like, this isn't any fun. That's maybe part of the problem. Like, Robinhood makes it fun. So I'm probably still going to use it. It's definitely just for gambles.
Definitely a big boy trading platform.
Yeah. Got a bank counting all my money now every day.
I got really lucky when I started trading stocks. I started with a Microsoft company that was called Share Builder. They spun off, and then it became SureTrade, and got bought out by Capital One, and it was pretty good, but I always played commission. And then 2 years ago, it used to be that you have to put up like when I first looked in an E-Trade trading account, you'd have to have $10,000 invested to have an E-Trade trading account. Then it dropped down to 5.
That's how it started.
So sometime when it was, sometimes when it was $5,000, I snuck through on the SureTrade account when they bought SureTrade. And now I have E-Trade. I'm probably one of the smallest E-Trade accounts they have, but I snuck in, so it was really handy. But maybe that'll happen with Robinhood when everybody throws it away. It'll get bought up by somebody that's more of a platform. But
Yeah,
one
I
of the
don't know
things
why.
about Robinhood,
Yeah.
if I understand it right, there's no commissions, right? You just trade the stock. You don't have to pay the $6 trade fee or anything.
Correct.
So
Which it's like
that sort of goes
obviously
back to the thing. If it's
they're not giving away free shit. Yeah.
If it's free, you're the product.
Absolutely. I.e. Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great point though, Richard. If it's free, you're the product, your data, your habits, your information, your whatever you do. Yeah. It's not out of the benevolence of their little
And the
heart.
48 hour book that I'm reading, it's called Cryptonomicon. It had a really prolific passage in it about data. And once data is created, it becomes equity. Once you start using data, it becomes equity. So there's a lot of data out there that's not getting used.
Mm-hmm.
But once it starts getting used, then it's equity and it has some value. And that's what I think that these are all things that my son Richard will understand, that we get to learn the hard way by losing money, getting the crap kicked out of us by different organizations that have more power. But over time, I think that'll all be equalized because of things like what this Reddit group did and Joel did. And I think the next time they organize, they'll have a better plan and
Absolutely.
probably be twice as disruptive.
And that's the fun part. That's what I like to think of, because it's going to hit. We're going to be in other sectors or markets, if you will, also, I believe. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but it'll happen.
So let's also say that GameStop it's not necessarily over. And I'm not saying go buy GameStop, because I still have a little bit, but just to see what happens. It's totally gambling, but like the current sentiment on Wall Street Bets is that it's not actually over. They're still scrambling. They still can't find the shares to cover their short positions. They're still over 100% shorted. And there's a campaign that, like, if you watch anything on TV, they've made it sound like that's done. That's old news, and they've moved on. And they talk about like it was in the past. And so they're forcing, not forcing people to sell, but they're sort of making people think, I better get out before I lose all my money. And they can drive down the price between themselves for a while as long as we're not allowed to buy more than 5 shares of the stock. As soon as that opens up again, which I think it will, they have to. I think they'll have to. I think it's not a non-zero chance that this still can't go back up to the stratosphere. And if it goes lower, if it goes down to like 40, I'm going to buy more.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Cuban was on Reddit today answering questions, and he advised everybody to hold. And during Vladimir was getting mucked over by Maxine Waters in the Congress, Robinhood upped the amount of shares you could trade on GameStop by 100.
Oh.
So it sounded like they were talking on the show I was listening to this morning that the hedge funds had to short the short. So they're doubly into it. And so I'm almost 70% sure that Michael Lewis is already 6 chapters into the next really great book that he's going to publish.
That's great too. Yeah.
Right now, if you're a regular person, you go try to short GameStop, you'll get an error message that you can't do it. And one of the reasons might be because there aren't available shares to short. So I don't think they're out of the I'm fucked water.
Yeah, which is outstanding because I think as you mentioned, I think a lot of the mainstream wants this to die and go away. I think there's more people who don't want it to, or people who have figured out how to have a voice that don't want it to go away. And so it's not. And I think that's the most beautiful part about it. You know, I saw the Jimmy Kimmel clip and I just, like I said, my hair fell out. That's how disappointed I was that he would even go there. Like, that's not even an attempt at humor. I don't think that was him like
mad, I mean,
full on mad or like string on the back, dude. Like, here's what you got to say. Because for some reason they think that people give a shit what they think. And I still laugh at that because I think every day goes by, people realize like celebrities go pound sand. Like, who really cares?
The owners are probably invested in the hedge funds that
absolutely, yeah,
are in deep shit.
That's why I said the puppet string on the back. Yeah, because they're like, hey, dude, you gotta gloss this over, man. You know, and then and I don't mean to seem like black helicopter guy, but like really going back to the white supremacist Russian again, like seriously, that just we're on the old number 7 on them, you know, and you're like, oh, come on, please, nobody's buying that shit ever. So, you know.
So, yeah, a little technical analysis is that there's a lot of background. On Friday, I think they were still 114% short interest. So that still meant there's not enough shares to cover it on Friday. And the days to cover ratio, which is some algorithm of volume divided by shares shorted or whatever, was like 2.1, I think, which means under normal trading volume days, theoretically, it would take them at least 2.1 days to get out of their short position. But that's not happening. They're not doing it. They've shut off the buy side. The volume is very low relatively. And all the volume is them trading back and forth the shares that they already have. So keep an eye on short interest
thermodynamics is a bitch
and days to cover.
Say that again, Richard. That's really important to hear.
Thermodynamics is a bitch.
Richard, explain what you mean by that.
I did. Well, they can't without making the shares or the options vaporized. They can't. I mean, the SEC will screw them if they do anything, if things disappear. So they're playing this balance game, but they're losing because as they short more, people keep buying because there's still accounts that you can buy as many as you want. Robinhood's just the exception where they're limited to buy. Like on E-Trade, if I want to go buy 200 GameStop shares tomorrow, I can go buy 200 GameStop shares.
E-Trade restricted it too. E-Trade restricted it too.
Oh. Well, I was a bit too worried about it. I didn't decide to get into the whole debacle, but you can open up a brokerage account super easy, and you could buy on one that has no restrictions. Like, what is it? The one I always liked was
Fidelity, TD,
Interactive
Mary
Broker.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I thought they went out of business.
There's a lot of ones that like the pro day traders use. Yeah. So, anyways,
that's the name of my new band, dude.
Yeah.
Pro Day Trader. That's the name of my new band. I think that's an awesome band name.
And then worst case scenario is that the hedge funds created synthetic shares. So they've actually shorted shares that don't even exist. And then they got a real problem on their hands and could crash the entire market.
I think the interesting thing to think about and maybe talk about a bit more too is what would have happened if it would have gone as the hedge funds really just planned and nobody peeked behind the curtain and was like, hey, wait a minute. I think there's going to be value here, or I don't. Basically, I'm going to say fuck you and I'm going to buy it so you can't short it. What would happen if they just were able to carry out what they're short and move ahead, Joel?
So first of all, GameStop, like you said, it's a retail outlet. They're struggling with a change in business strategy, which is like that's why Ryan Cohen bought in because he wants to try to turn it into something more valuable.
Mhm.
But they're struggling and they have to shut down for the pandemic. And then you got these fucking hedge funds coming in and just shorting the shit out of your company, driving down the price. They're trying to drive you out of business.
Mhm.
And if you're a company, you hate that. It just seems really unfair.
Especially when the guy that's at the hedge fund who has shorted gets to go on CNBC and talk about how shitty a stock this is,
Yeah.
and basically self-fulfill the prophecy, if you will, which I think is a part that always really ground on me about that little inbred circle that gets to exist.
Yeah. So the downside is, so what happens? They drive down the price. They're aiming to drive to zero and force them into bankruptcy. And how they could force them into bankruptcy would be, you would just, if you're a company, your stock prices is in the shitter, and you have no way to raise money in order to pay your bills and do anything. So you're just forced to liquidate, file for bankruptcy.
Mhm.
So that was their end game. Their end game was to make $4 for every share they shorted. But their downside on that is what they're experiencing. It's fucking awesome that they lost $10 billion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They could have made $100 million.
After this week, all I can say is Jordan Belfort should be completely pardoned.
Totally, dude.
After this little debacle, he looks like an angel.
For those of you playing along home, that's where the book, The Wolf of Wall Street, and the movie is kind of based on Jordan's life. So, yeah.
And it's more Elon Musk tweeted out GameStonk. That made it immediately skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chamath, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, he's come out in support of it. And the Mavericks guy, Dallas Mavericks, Cuban.
Omar Cuban, yeah.
Yeah, Belfort's come along. I don't really know what he's done. He's been talking about it, but he's just telling everybody to hold on.
Yeah, I think it's a great exercise. It shows too that if people put their mind to something and focus on something, they can make things happen, even though people don't want it to. I think that's the best part about it. Yeah, and it gives me further hope too that I think Elon's gonna be a source of relief in a lot of this different stuff. I totally see him doing some worldwide broadband and hosting whoever the hell wants to be on it, basically, unless you're kiddie porn or freaking child trafficking. I think he's got the money to do it and the resources, and some of the comments I've seen him make, I think that's right in his wheelhouse, and it definitely would make some coin at the same time. Just my humble thoughts and my certainly my hope as well. So just saying. But certainly quite the interesting week. And as you well said, Joel, it's not over with yet, even though people are trying to put the rabbit back in the hat, so to speak, and point over here. But it's fun to see these people just losing their absolute shit on TV about it. Basically because you're not supposed to turn the lights on during the movie, man. People aren't supposed to see what's going on. And so, it's going to happen again, and it's going to happen more. And I think it really just shines the light on all the trolls that are running around.
Well, it's especially telling about, and I'll say this immediately, like the Fox News coverage of it was pretty fair. Mm-hmm. They talked about it from support. In my opinion, it was fair. They were talking about it from the support of the retail investor. But CNBC, MSNBC, CBS, all the networks, CNN, there was a guy on there, I thought he was going to cry, talking about how these Redditors that live in their parents' basement, just hate. Like, yes. Dude, what? You're on TV right now.
Yeah.
Why do you hate regular people that much?
Because they think differently than they do. Really. We've been seeing this for a while now, dude. Like this is, the vitriol, the absolute hate, the complete willingness to just absolutely shut that completely down and hear nothing of it and label it as anything but free speech call it hate, call it racist, call it collusion with something else. That's the playbook, man. And some people probably won't tie those together, but that's clear as hell to me is this Reddit stuff, any kind of free speech, anything that doesn't disagrees with the current climate, if you will. And so, yeah, to watch them lose their shit over this, I was like, yeah, well, welcome to the party,
I'd throw in that they probably view themselves more as the ruling class.
Oh, for sure.
And we're the peasants. I mean, that's the social divide. But
Yeah, they didn't want to have to say that out loud though, and now they're saying it out loud through their actions.
I going back to what Richard said a little bit ago. I actually went over and had dinner a few nights back with some friends, and it was Sunday night, and 60 Minutes comes on, and I don't ordinarily watch that, but they had it on TV, and they had a really unique deal going back to Richard's comment about selling data, and it was actually quite concerning. If you guys can go back and gather that recent 60-minute episode, it was interesting what they're doing with ancestry.com and these 23andMe and all the data, and they're selling to China and stuff, and it kind of gives you a whole another perspective on what this world's really up to. I thought that was a pretty interesting program to watch, and if you guys get the chance, go watch it if you haven't. Joel, you said you did, but that was kind of a neat watch.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Terrifying is a good word. Yeah.
I have to work a quick plug in here.
That's what she said.
So I got a.
That's number 3. No more, Micah.
No more. No.
Buddy on LinkedIn.
That's what she said.
I haven't.
Go ahead, Richard.
Anyways, I haven't met him in person, but I'm dying to go sit down and have dinner with him in Denver next time I'm there. His name is Jesse Randall, and he started a venture capital fund called Sweater.
Sweater?
And he is going to open it up. Sweater, yes. He's going to open it up to smaller investors, and really believes that it's going to be a game changer. Anyways, he was raised on a ranch, and last week he made a whole post about how he thought that people from ranches were a little bit tougher. He talked about shoveling a tractor out of a field that was just full of shit and manure, and how much that day still hangs with him to this day. And he goes back and forth from Denver to Idaho to his family ranch, and still sort of really involved. But I've been following him now for about 3 years, and this idea that he has is pretty legit. So if you guys want to check it out,
what's his name again, Richard?
So when Jesse Randall.
You saying Jesse or Dusty?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Okay.
Anyway, his whole goal is to sort of democratize and upend this sort of tiers of what different people, based on the money that they have, can invest in, and give some people some new type of entryways into bigger markets. And so I'm signed up. I'm trying to leverage my current stock portfolio or my play around one enough so that when the opportunity comes up to put some money into Sweater, I'll have enough to get through the door. So, and the interesting thing about it is you get to be on if you invest, I think you've got 98 some companies lined up that need investment.
Oh, excellent.
And if you invest, you can serve on the advisory boards. Yeah, so it's a real sort of interesting. I'm sure that it's limited, but still it'd be a good look into this world that seems to be out of reach of many people. So check out Sweater. I think it's going to be a game changer, and I think it's the way that a lot of markets will be going.
Sounds awesome. You should try to get him rounded up for a Far Reaches Extra. That'd be fun. He'd do it. He sounds like a good guy. One ranch kid to another. We'll bust a move. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Great segue to
I'll
mention
plan to
Don't make me come over there. Yeah. It's just,
Raleigh's eating a big plate of spaghetti.
you know, a little fettuccine time. Yeah.
It's like I saw you put that in the bowl. And it was like 4 large scoops.
He's over there. That's second or third helping though. Didn't you eat already once? Yeah. That was dinner. This is supper. He had dinner already. Now he's having supper. Yeah.
Listening to you guys, my brain's going through some calories here. So.
Oh, let's have another word from our good friends at B&K Auto, and then we'll have our last few segments of the week, and then we'll talk about our next entertainment adventure that Mr. Joel's going to lead us on. So, hey, kids, still have social distancing rules are still in effect in some places. So one of the things that our good friends at B&K are doing is you can just call in your part over the phone and give them your payment information, and then they'll go pull it for you and have it available when you stop in. You can pick it up. And I still know that there's some of you out there who like to pull your own, and you can do that too at B&K. And also make sure to, get some good old fashioned junkyard fun. And remember, use code REACHER for some discounts on your pulled parts and a bump up in those scrap rates. And the bigger the sale, the bigger the discount. How can you go wrong with that? Thank you very much to our good friends at B&K Auto Salvage in the beautiful Grand Ronde Valley. So that leads us to our second segment with Mr. Bradburn. This is the Far Reaches Word of the Week. I can tell Richard's sweating a little bit. He's darting his eyes back and forth. He either is on the verge of diarrhea or he has forgotten that he had Word of the Week. We will see which one it is when we go live to Richard. Richard, what do you got for us?
I didn't forget that I had Word of the Week. I forgot what word I chose.
Gotcha. And that's completely understandable and right within the average wheelhouse of the reachers. Yes. So.
Well, I thought I had Word of the Week. Did your email say, Joel, you got Word of the Week and blah,
next
blah, blah?
Time. No, next. You'll have it. If you have the entertainment moment, then you have Word of the Week. Yeah. Unless you two.
I thought next time was this time.
No,
you
next
sent it
time.
Before this time.
Sorry, I was actually trying to be a little proactive because at the end of this, we're going to announce. We always do that. At the end of this podcast, we say, Joel, you've got movie of the week next time or whatever. What do you want to talk about? So that way I was reminding you, and then you also will have Word of the Week. But if you assholes want to switch Word of the Week and you do it this week for Richard and Richard does it next week for you, I'm totally good with that because, by God, we don't have really many hard and fast rules here at Far Reaches. So, I'm sorry I fucked up the whole process by trying to be a little ahead of the game for once.
Well, I mean, we've never broke a rule, but I guess
because we don't have any rules. I mean, that's the whole first point is we just get on here and we just bullshit in a circle. And I have like this little outline, where we're going to go next. But yeah, I was just reminding you that be prepared to talk about your entertainment at the end, so we know what we're going to discuss next time. But I still go by. If you have a word, I think we should hear it, and then that'll give Richard some more time to remember his. So,
Richard, is that okay, or were you slow playing us? Like, oh, I don't have a word, and then maybe you had a word.
Like, aha, bamboozle. That was my word because that's what I just did to you. Oh. Richard's like,
no, what?
Yeah.
To go with yours, Joel, and I will come up with a word next year or next week.
Probably next year too. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get this by the third season. We'll have this ironed out.
There's a chance. I think that might disappoint people too. So.
Because my word is on topic, so it wouldn't really make any sense maybe next week. My word is capitulation.
Ooh. Can you spell that?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you want me to spell it?
Sure. Let's go all the way with this.
I'll demonstrate that I can if I spell it. It is CAPITULATION. Capitulation.
Perfect. Origin, please.
My ball sack.
Ah, yes. Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I will use capitulation in a sentence because it's useful for this. So, I don't know. Gosh. No, I don't want to. I don't know how to use it without giving away the meaning.
Oh, damn it. I've heard it. I can't remember exactly what it means. In my mind, it's something about like the capitulation of the situation, and it's like the variables around something or the ups and downs of something is kind of how that's in my brain, but I don't know how far off that is.
That no. To capitulate is to like change direction. So
The ups and downs would also be
compromise.
changing a direction.
Well,
Compromise.
it's changing a direction, not any direction.
My theory on capitulation is because we see it within our government and negotiations with other countries and things, as well as in the stock market, but it's giving up something that you might gain to go in a different direction for a possible gain in another direction. Am I wrong there, Joel?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah. Well,
it's beautiful, Raleigh, but it's wrong.
I think that's actually, I was looking it up at the same time. That is one of the Webster's definitions, was the first one he talked about in the governments. There's actually also, though, a specific investor definition of capitulation.
Oh,
correct?
Okay. Well, I think capitulate means to essentially give up.
Okay.
Or maybe not you specifically, but yeah, you've capitulated. You've ceded okay, you're going to do what you're going to do. I give up. I think that's how I think of it. In the stock market, what it means is when the market is going down, if you're an investor, the market's going down, people are losing money. Capitulation is when they sell they believe they have a losing asset on their hand, so they capitulate by selling it. In financial terms, capitulation is when that hits bottom and everybody's sold, all the paper hands have sold their equity. You've reached the point of capitulation, and then you're switching from more sellers to more buyers.
That's awesome.
That's my word.
I dig
I
it.
think it's used in the frame of negotiation a lot too.
I think I found a definition here that encompasses all of those. If you don't mind, Mr. Joel, I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Capitulation is when investors give up any previous gains in any security or market by selling their positions during periods of decline. Capitulation can happen at any time, but typically during high volume trading and extended declines for securities or stocks. A market correction or bear market often leads investors to capitulate or panic sell. The term is derived from a military term which refers to surrender.
Giving up.
Yeah.
Wait. America doesn't
word.
know much about that, though, right?
Yeah. John Wayne, America. It's a great word, though. Outstanding word. I think it was worthy. Even if Richard did have a word, we should put the rule in that you can overrule the word if you have a better one.
That I like.
That's too many rules.
That.
That's really the first rule we have, though.
Hence my point.
Still too many damn rules. All right, Raleigh. So noted. Yes. That's outstanding. Yeah.
So is the malarkey rule the first or second rule? Because last time we made the malarkey rule.
It's malarkey. That's not even a rule.
Yeah. So
Just
we decided the malarkey rule was indeed malarkey and therefore was not a rule.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like we generally don't allow malarkey.
Which is kind of a rule.
This is our safe space from malarkey.
You're gonna have to capitulate on that position because.
Wow. Gold star, Bradbury. We got to start the Far Reaches refrigerator flow chart. Richard just got a gold star. Yeah.
I feel like we're confusing our listeners right now.
Oh, that ship sailed a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I feel like they may have capitulated at 27 minutes.
There's a good chance of that too. Roughly an hour ago is what you're saying. Yeah.
Because of all.
That's what I learned this week. That is what I learned this week.
Jesus, what?
The average podcast listener only makes it 27 minutes into a podcast.
Oh, wow.
So,
I'm way above average.
Really, about 90% of our podcast listeners have never reached this. point.
Our listeners have nowhere else to go, though.
I think
so
our listeners are
they're
far
not
above average. Yeah. Well above
Especially
average.
during COVID. With COVID, they're not going anywhere.
Well, if any of them are driving to work or to and from the farm, they're going to get some good time to listen. Also, I think that's where we're really hitting our stride.
Micah, do you think Ty Campbell listens to this?
Spatula does. Yes, he does.
I think we ought to perhaps formulate a listener join-in episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just take some calls from listeners.
I don't know if that's ever been tried on air.
If we can do a live feed where they can chime in, I don't know if that's even possible, but it would be kind of fun to take some of their input right off the top.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we can do some lives. I did some updates earlier this week or last week. Shit, I don't know what day it is even. And people were showing up a lot faster on the live this time because we were going to have Colby on one time. And I was on Facebook Live and I was chatting away and I'm stalling and I'm rambling. And I've never seen Colby come up on the list of people to even invite or to say he had invited. And I was like, holy crap. And I rambled for 20 some minutes. Never saw Colby. I wrap it all up and he calls me, dude, what the hell? I was trying to get him. I never saw you, dude. I didn't even see you to invite you. But I did one the other day and somebody was having lunch and was like, hey, you should have brought me on. I'm like, I didn't know if you're having a bad hair day or not, or I would have brought you on. So point being, yes, we need to do some of that. It might be on this. It might be we go live on Facebook for one of our episodes instead, and we just stream it on there. If we can get that all dialed in so we could bust a move on that. So that'd be
kind of fun.
Highly entertaining. Yeah. So we'll have to.
There's a lot of people that are kind of getting used to listening to all of our bullshit. So.
Yeah, because I haven't put up for 20 some years already, but in this organized format with no rules. Yeah.
Anybody listen to my conversation with JD?
I did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. For those of you who have missed it, I think Joel did a tremendous job interviewing Mr. JD Kendall on Joel's first Far Reaches Extra that just got posted, I think, on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So
did you do that? Was that done on Zoom or what platform did you do that?
Yeah. Well,
JD
is all he's done a lot of this, so he had a whole setup. He sent me the thing and recorded and sent me the link. It's embedded on YouTube somehow. I don't know how.
Gotcha.
I don't know the tech side of this stuff.
The Spotify only caught about half of it. I don't know if it's how it got downloaded or not, but I listened to about the first 45 minutes of it. Oh. And then it switched and I wasn't able to listen to the rest of it.
Interesting. I did have a lot of difficulty downloading the video and the audio from the Google Drive, but yeah.
I'll just say it's hard to keep. I don't know. I felt like I was trying to do an interview and I prepared, and then what those people do as interviewers, like Terry Gross, it's impressive. It's hard to do that work.
Questions. You gotta have good questions.
Hey,
Joe Rogan's probably the best interviewer, actually, and people say that, but it's so true. He just has a genuine interest in who he's talking to.
Well, and a normal person just kind of runs out of things to say, and then, but some special people can just keep a conversation going. JD helped out a lot on that. He kind of drove that whole thing.
This is a group of 4 special individuals.
Very. Helmets to be determined. Yeah.
If Micah wasn't here, we would just be sitting here staring at each other most of the time, probably.
You kinky bastards. Yeah.
Yeah. They get the comic relief.
Another type of podcast.
Yes. Yeah. That's the Shrivel Your podcast. Hey-oh. Yeah. So. I love when I make myself laugh. That's probably one of my favorite times. Yeah. So,
well, it's weird to just say welcome to Far Reaches.
Did a good job. You're like, hey, welcome to Far Reaches the Extra. Joel or JD. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I thought it was
liked
good.
it.
I liked him. His music. He plays good music. So
Yeah.
He plays 3 songs on it. Go skip forward and watch them.
Yeah, so if anybody's listening, if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, please go back. It's both on our YouTube channel and in all of our normal locations as well. So if there's any issues with audio, let me know. I'll see if I can get it reposted if it's not playing somewhere.
I have an issue.
Well, we know that. That's well established. So
I'm looking
share
at
it?
your background, and it's way too symmetric. It's driving me insane. Can you put a lamp on either the left or the right-hand side, break that up a little bit? Because, like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's
it's
it
almost
makes you look
Matrix.
yeah.
It's like Matrix-like, isn't it? Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like it's glitched in the Matrix. The civilization is stalled in that part of Florida.
A little deja vu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Napoleon Dynamite's in the other room.
Shh, totally talking to babes. Yeah. Actually, that's one of the Reacher males discusses the room, so we'll get to that in a minute. It's pretty funny you mentioned that. Yeah. That's too funny.
Get off the internet.
Shh. Get your freaking food, Tina, you fat lard. So, Joel, that brings us to our next segment that I was trying to be a little more organized in the end of this because sometimes we get a little rattled, which is great. But, this is what I warned you of pre-podcast recording, that you will have next time's entertainment breakdown and thus also the word. So I've kind of framed it as entertainment breakdown because, we've had a book on tape. We've discussed the podcast. I still think when I described it to you, I was like, poem, book, play, basically anything in the realm of almost like quote unquote entertainment, I think is fair game for us to sort of lay out and maybe discuss for the next time, So what have you been thinking about?
I thought I was up for next week.
Is there limitations on where you're going with entertainment?
I'm going to choke you like a chicken. Yeah.
There's got to be some limitations on the word entertainment.
Well, so I said here, a next book, play, podcast, album. I think album,
Well,
like if you have music, poem, movie,
do a
word,
play. I'm gonna do a play.
A play. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, waiting for Guffman or something, or
No, we all have to go to Jersey Boys.
say what?
Jersey Boys. It's a play.
It's a play. Is it also a movie?
No, it's a musical.
It's a good one. It's about Frankie Valli, right?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm not choosing Jersey Boys.
Oh, it's a good movie. Yeah.
I'm going to stay on topic, and I'm going to choose the movie Margin Call.
Margin Call.
It's a movie about a pretty significant margin call, I think.
Yeah, I would get that. You sound like you just did like the 3rd grade book report on a book you didn't read. I'm going to talk about Margin Call, which is really
I've never seen it.
about this call of the margin, and it was quite the margin of the call, and they called it, and then there was no margin there, but they still called it anyways. So I really like Margin Call.
Okay, maybe I should say what margin call means, right?
Go ahead. Yes, please do. Yeah.
So margin call is if you invest with borrowed money, you're investing on margin. So margin is borrowed.
Remember Trading Places, that was the big thing. Margin call, gentlemen. Yeah.
So if you're an investor and your investment that you do on margin, on borrowed money, goes to shit, your broker will put out a margin call to collect. And then if you're not worth anything anymore, you're fucked.
Then your broker. Maybe that's what that word comes from. When your broker calls, then you're brokered and shit. That's what happens. Yeah.
If you're not worth anything, you're not screwed. It's the person that lent you the money that you're still broke.
Exactly. I was broke when I started this shit. What do I care? Yeah. What am I, broker? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, and they're not even broke because it's just like it's like a they're incorporated, so their company's broke, but that guy still has.
That guy's all right. Yeah, they got limited LLC, man, limited liability, as in you can't hold me accountable for all that shit. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just start a new hedge fund.
yeah.
Commodities trading is where it gets dangerous. Like my mom taught me from a really early age, if you're gonna play with commodities, make damn sure you own the commodity that you're trading.
Good first step. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So Joel is going to do, we're going to discuss the movie Margin Call. Dun-dun-dun. And Richard will take the word. Yes. The bird is the word. Go ahead. What was that, Joel?
No, I was just going to say it's Kevin Spacey in it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking of.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning for our sensitive listeners. Kevin Spacey's in it.
Also has the guy from The Mentalist.
Wow, you're the fucking
Kevin Spacey was in The Mentalist?
Yeah. No, some other asshole was in The Mentalist, apparently. He's also in that.
Oh.
Hey, what was that series that Kevin Spacey was in with the hot chick? Veep? No, not Veep. House of Cards. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Travolta's wife, didn't she? Is that Travolta's
No,
wife?
that was Sean Penn's. That was Sean Penn's wife. Robin Wright Penn. That's her name.
Oh.
# smoke show. Yeah.
Well, she was.
No, she still is.
Could have been in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I think she's like 45. She's
dude, some hikes like 53 or 58 and absolute nails, dude.
Gross.
Nails. Did you say, oh, gross? What? And you're calling John Wayne gay? Are you shitting me? Good Lord, Maynard. What's wrong with you, man? Yeah.
Nobody is as gay as John Wayne.
Wow. This is going to be your undoing, Mr. Joel. Yeah. Your undoing. So Margin Calls from September 2011. Okay, perfect. Follows the key people at an investment bank over a 24-hour period during the early stages of the 2008 financial crisis. Outstanding. Looks like it'll be pretty good. So our point with that whole diatribe previously was that, yes, Kevin Spacey's in there. So watch out.
Financial crisis.
Oh, you're actually listening. I'm impressed. That's good.
It wasn't a crisis. It was a crisis.
I know.
There's only one of them.
Oh, there's many. Yeah. There's many.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just saying. Yeah. That leads us to one of my favorite segments to watch everybody sweat like a whore in church. We're going to go to the far reaches. What'd you learn during this past segment? It could be the past 5 minutes, the past week. It could be something you remembered from fucking kindergarten. Don't get too worried about it. Raleigh, what'd you learn?
Let's see. I learned that I don't know how to untie anything from politics right now, but I learned that even though our last president had a lot of good things he did for the country and there was still a lot of bullshit tied around it, we're just kind of in the same bag of bullshit right now, just with a different president. So
bag of bullshit. I like that.
That's my learned information of the week.
Just slung over a different shoulder. Still,
it really is. We got a lot of things to overcome in this country right now. So,
rough.
Yeah.
Richard, what did you learn? It's not the SAT, guys. It could be almost anything. Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead, Raleigh.
I wanted to add to that. I got my haircut last week, and
oh yeah, looks dandy too, my dad.
While I was in getting my haircut, there were two barbers.
Which hair exactly did you get cut? You get all of them cut, or just one of them?
Just a couple, yeah. The barber in there and I were visiting over politics and whatnot, and the only other person in there was the other barber, and she
They're
got tired of-
stylists, aren't they? They're not really barbers. They're stylists. You
Yeah,
can say
well,
that's
well
fine.
whatever you
We're
call
not
it.
going to judge you, but
Yeah, but the other one in there, she got tired of listening to us, and out of the blue, she just piped up and said, "Did you guys know that elephants can't jump?" And it totally interrupted the conversation. But I did learn that elephants can't jump last week. So
that's outstanding. That's exactly the kind of insight and high tech shit we're looking for here on what you
Absolutely.
learn. Yeah, that's perfect.
I kind of like cows can't go downstairs or something. Heard
Cows-
that? Have you ever heard?
Oh.
They can't go downstairs.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm asking you. You guys are the fucking cow people.
I mean, you guys
Like,
got stairs out there?
it never dawned on me to try and herd one up or downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing tomorrow? What do you go do
Yeah,
it?
damn it, build some stairs and let's see this shit in action. This is we're going to go
Record
live.
it.
Yeah,
This is a Far Reaches video.
we're far
Force
reaching
one of
right
your-
there.
Force
Yeah.
one of your 4,000 cows or however many cows you have. Force one down a set of stairs.
Now they'll go down a ramp, they'll go up a ramp. I've seen them crawl on the back of a flatbed to get to salt, but I've never seen them go stairs. Not really been involved. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to build the stairs. Well, maybe you probably already have stairs. Like
they've
fixed
got the
stairs.
old set, like
You live on a ranch.
yeah, they got the old car from the airport with the stairs. You know, like on what was that freaking great TV show they drove around the set of stairs from the airport? Oh
I don't
shit.
know.
I lost the name of it. Great sitcom,
Oh.
got stomped.
I thought it was Blues Brothers.
Wasn't the Blues Brothers? No, it was a sitcom on TV. Jason Bateman was in it, and Jeffrey Tambor. Arrested Development. They drove around a freaking set of airport stairs all the time. That was one of their cars they drove. Yeah. So I'm sure Richard's got some of that shit or Raleigh laying around somewhere in one of the junk piles. There's probably an old airplane stair car laying around. Could be handy for pay stacks and shit.
Elephants can't jump. Cows can't go downstairs. One of you guys are gonna set that up and record it. That'd be cool.
Where can you get an elephant at?
No, we got to do the cow.
Oh, do
stairs
the
thing.
cow one. Oh, that's much better thinking. Good thinking, Joel. Yeah.
And then dogs can't look up. Apparently, that's the other one.
As in, like, look up something in the dictionary, or like look up like.
They can't look up into the air, into the sky.
What movie is that from? I forget what that is.
What? It's
I
not
don't
from a movie. It's from a science book.
No, it's from a movie.
Yeah, because like dogs look up.
I can't look up.
Is there a certain
That's gonna rack my brain.
So, Joel, by stairs, are you referring to like stairs for people,
I think so. Yeah.
like a set of stairs? Because like
What
Powder
other
River,
kind of stairs are there?
well, in a Powder River livestock shoot, they have a stair step floor, but it's not as steep, and they go up and down that just fine. But if you're
And
thinking
they go
of
up
like,
ramps and down
Yeah.
ramps and shit too. So
I would
Yeah.
say I'd like to see a cow navigate 3 stairs, and I think that would give me enough information.
I don't know. I think of the Imnaha Basin up here. It might as well be a set of stairs, and there's a lot of cattle that are traipsing around in that. But I'm just thinking along the lines of an actual staircase. Yeah, that I'm guessing they're not going to navigate that very well.
I
Yeah,
think
don't
this is
take it.
something
Don't
to-
take it into your house and go upstairs. And then
I
try to
wouldn't say
make it
that.
go
I'm all
down.
for that too. But
Well,
we
it
should
would
throw
never
this to
go
the
down.
listeners too. You
What
know,
if
throw
it's
this to the
true?
listeners. You got a set of stairs and some cows. Let us know what you find out if you've ever
I
seen.
tell
them.
you what, when I get a bottle calf, which
Mhm.
I'll have one, I'm sure, here before too long, I will get it a week old or so it's traveling pretty good, and take it to the house, and we'll do a live video on the set of stairs.
Absolutely, because you got stairs up, and then the set of stairs could be used to go back down
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So
it won't be a
you don't have to
full-
build
fun to
the
watch.
special downstairs.
It won't be a
Yeah.
full-grown cow, but we can probably get a calf to manage that for you, Joel.
Not only would that be a good science experiment, it would also be very cute.
Unless he's got
Well-
the squirts. Yeah.
A little calf trying to go downstairs.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll defecate on the staircase at some point, so that'll be entertaining.
So what a unique stain you have on your stairs. What color is that? That's early American Hereford. Yes. So
Just tell Kelly it was you. Blame it on yourself.
Yeah, I had the
And
shit, so
then,
I slept in the barn. Yeah, so
Don't tell you about the cow inside.
The cow's more likely to live in the house with her than I am.
well, there's that. We don't want to go down that
The,
road.
the
but,
baby calf,
yeah.
they kind of have a special place. So
as well deserved. Yeah.
yeah,
Richard, you're dying to say something. What's going on over there? Your brain's smoking.
it's coming out his ear.
I finally know what I learned.
Oh, outstanding.
I learned that Joel's randomness perfectly counters mine. And whenever he goes down some tangent, I forget everything that my tangent was going to be. And it's annoying as hell. That's what
Joel Kryptonite Curran strikes again. Yes. Somebody who can out-random Richard is quite impressive, slightly concerning. Yes.
I'm also concerned about, why are you watching Planet Earth from the early 2000s? Is that how you calm down?
No, it's just on the preview screen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
No,
just
when we-
flipping.
No, when we started it was on Planet Earth.
Oh, I know it was chicken porn when we first turned it on.
Oh, when we started, I was watching a program about birds.
See, chicken porn. Told you. Yeah. He calls
I
it a
do-
program about birds. I call it chicken porn.
I do like watching stuff about birds. They do like really interesting.
Tell us what you
mating
want,
stuff.
really.
Hey, if an egg can fit there, why can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Dress it up about watching birds.
their mating behavior is so like,
There it is.
obviously human. Like you recognize, like, okay, humans do that too, but there's a clear connection of this is how humans do it, and that's what that bird is doing.
Micah, how did you know it was chicken porn?
I don't know. I'm not. I can sense the disturbance in the forest.
It's not chicken porn.
So is it like, it's like almost going back in time, like when you're choking the chicken to watching another chicken get chicked. That's pretty disturbing. It's impressive. Don't get me wrong, but hey, I'm not judging here. That's one thing about the Reachers. We don't judge.
This is
You
a
might
bunch of
laugh.
malarkey.
Oh, you can't pull the M word out. That's, man.
Don't worry. If you saw the background of any time I'm watching TV, it's always cooking.
That's fair.
That's what I.
I watch cooking porn. Giada could read the phone book and I'd watch that. So that's a whole different story altogether. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
just
that's
saying.
I'm not to that point yet.
Bonacera. Yeah.
sad.
I'm watching Giada and you're watching chickens. All is well. Yeah. You also
Not
think
that sad.
Selma Hayek's not hot either for some goddamn reason.
I feel like I should put this.
Of course, I'm joking.
Yeah, definitely need to put the train back on the tracks. What did you learn this week, Micah?
The chicken porn's out there. No. It's totally random, but it's one of the, we kick off in the evening and in college, grad school, I used to watch Jeopardy like every evening and all my roommates made fun of me because it was like my programs, So we would watch Jeopardy. We'd play it online on our laptops at the same time. I really liked Jeopardy. And then I kind of lost track of it for a while. And then Alex died recently. Alex Trebek was a longstanding host. Anyways, they've been having guest hosts, and Ken Jennings has been on there for a couple of weeks. And Ken Jennings was like one of the all-time. Actually, he won the Tournament of Ultimate Tournaments champion. He won millions of dollars on Jeopardy, and so he's been. I think this is his second or third week of guest hosting on Jeopardy, and it seemed really weird at first, but I'm really starting to dig it. I think he's getting more comfortable with how he reads the clues because he's not trying to be Alex. He's being him. And so I'm really enjoying watching Ken Jennings be the guest host on Jeopardy. He's coming into his own. I think he's getting a better grasp on it. I hope they keep him around for a little bit longer. I think they're probably going to cycle through some other cornholers at some point. But I think he's the good person for the job. And so that's something that I learned this week, that I really enjoy Jeopardy again, watching Ken Jennings be the host.
Did we pick up a Jeopardy sponsorship that we're not aware of? Or
Maybe. What is shit I haven't told you yet for 1,000? Yes.
yeah, it's like $1 million sponsorship that you're just dropping in.
I'm spending
Some
it all
random,
on
like,
curtains.
Jeopardy's pretty good. This show that's been on for 35 years.
What did I tell you? It doesn't
Very
have
good.
to be anything too cerebral to be, what we learned. I'm telling you guys, I tell you that every freaking week, and every week you sit there and just pour coals over it. I'm like, just calm down. Yeah. So That's what I
I
like.
got a request. I want to put this out there.
Ooh, kinky.
If anybody in our audience has any artistic capability whatsoever or design chops, could you please design us a new logo? That'd
Yeah.
be great. I was listening to Joel's podcast and looking at the logo on my Forerunner, and I thought, we probably should individualize this one just a little bit more for us.
Yeah, we should get all our pictures on it.
Kinky. Yeah.
We want to attract people though, so we better not do that.
That's a thought.
No. I think we should.
That's a good challenge for the listeners. I know there's some smart artistic people out there. We need a logo. Think about something you might want to put on a hat or maybe a coffee mug or a sweatshirt or something. Because that's something we're thinking about doing. So if we choose your logo, we need a malarkey hat. If we choose your logo, for sure, you're going to get some great swag out of that. No doubt about it. And huge props. So if you're a struggling artist, if you're a successful artist, if you're an amateur artist, if you know somebody who might be, let's bust a move. Let's get that rolling.
Yeah, we'll give you a $2 bill if we choose your logo.
Ooh, Joel's playing the part of his grandmother right now. Yes.
You can stay at Raleigh's new bunkhouse over Halloween.
Absolutely. Joel will come only somewhat harm you. Yeah.
Joel's gonna chaperone.
Yeah. Oh shit! I thought I took the chain off the chainsaw. Man, this is just not my week. I apologize. Yeah.
You have to have health insurance to stay.
And there's a pretty explicit 14-page waiver that you must initial also.
I mean, it's October. You've probably already met your deductible. So what's the harm?
Point. That's a great point. Come on out and get your dental taken care of at the same time. Yeah. Because we're going to crack you right across the calculator with something. So, yeah. That's outstanding. I love it. Great point, Richard. I think it's been on my brain for a while. If we get a bunch of them, we might even put some up for voting. If not, we'll just gather around and pick the one that's best. We might have several because we're freaking crazy. This is no rules reachers. Right there, kids? Right. Outstanding. Oh, we got a couple official mail calls this week. A lot of times people will text me and shit. I'm like, hey, can I put that on the air? And they're like, you don't want to put that on the air. And so I don't, but a couple of these I thought we would. We have two individual comments that came about 6 days apart from the same asshole. Big D in Texas asks, hey, just watched Joel's podcast. Why is he always in the women's locker room when he's doing the podcast? When you're in your bedroom, it looks like you're in a locker room or you're in the shitter. Wherever you usually do the podcast from, there's all the cabinets and stuff in the back, and it does look like a women's locker room. So
yeah, but it's not made out of metal. It's made out of wood.
Metal? What in the shit is metal? Are you trying to say metal?
Metal.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? You got like a stroke halfway through that word? Yeah, it looks like it. Some people are like watching this on their phone.
Why a woman's locker room? Because it's a nice locker room? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't ask him why he thought it was a woman's locker room, but
I don't know though. If I imagined Joel in a locker room, it would be a woman's locker room.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. He's sniffing panties or stealing towels or something. Yeah, I don't know. Putting bras on his head like Mickey Mouse. Shit, I can't keep up with you. You watch chicken porn, for God's sakes. What am I supposed to do with that? Anyways, turns out, yeah, that's not really a locker room of any sort, men's or women's. Is that your bedroom? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually Joel's bedroom with some cabinets in the background.
This is my living room. This is all right.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that looks official. You got the freaking brick there. You got the TV over there. You got the shelves and shit. Yeah, it's pretty classy. Yeah.
There's like books and shit up there.
Yeah, it's outstanding. I love it. That's nice. I like the locker room too. Yeah.
Any bookophile will tell you the best way to organize your books is by color tone.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the reddish section. Maybe next time you could put like a fire or something on the TV in the background. That would be nice. Put it on the fireplace channel or something. That'd be good.
Well, I'm alone here for 2 weeks, by the way.
Oh, now you tell us.
Alone here for my birthday is next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna spend my birthday alone. But
who's counting?
That's fine. That's fine.
Come on down, man. Come on down.
Yeah.
What do you got to worry about? A plant or something? I think you're all right. I think that outlaw is going to be all right. You should come down.
Probably read a book.
Yeah, we could go to that play together. Also, Big D also had some other questions on the Reacher Mail, and this is about almost a week later between times. Micah, what in the hell are you hiding behind those hideous curtains? I was like, look, Dick, those are nice paisley curtains I happen to be quite proud of. There's 2 windows that go to my backyard and the pool, and so I try not. This is also where I do most of my work in my day job, and so I don't like to be distracted when I'm trying to get some work done by looking outside of the pool. So
I mean, they match your carpet. They match your carpet perfectly.
Thank you.
There's no denying that.
Well, in practice, they are a red color in live, and the carpet is a gray. The rug is a brownish red and white Brazilian cowhide. So, yeah. Sorry, and I did measure before I put the picture of Richard. That's why it's so symmetrical. So I'll try to do something to get it off kilter for you before the next episode. So
it's a scary room. It's a little bit scary.
Well, at least the carpet matches the drapes.
Brown chicken, brown cow. Yeah. But, I have a lot of video calls for work, so I needed a semi-professional background. So, yeah. It's okay. We'll switch it around. So
yeah, it's not good.
You need some sort of dead animal on the wall or something.
We could work on that, maybe. Yeah. If anybody has anything to send the Office Beautification Foundation, put her in the mail. No COD shit, cornholers, but yeah. So that.
Where are we at?
Well, we're just to the final official stage of the week. And it's the Far Reach's best thing of the week. Try to end on somewhat of a high note, I guess, kind of pull her out of the deep dive that sometimes we get into. Richard said, fuck it, he just got up and walked away. I don't blame him. But we're going to start with Richard and his best thing of the week.
We went and picked up the kid in California and had a delightful conversation with a part of a family that we graze cattle with, that's trying to decide to move, if they want to move out of California and come up here to Oregon, go from urban to rural, and sat out by my father and mother-in-law's pool and had a nice visit, and nice little lunch, and just had a really enjoyable conversation and learned a lot about all the challenges that people in urban areas have. For some reason, been a reoccurring theme. So anyways, and I got a jam. I have a 3-year-old that has a problem. So we'll see you guys.
Thank you, Richard. Until next time, again, sir. And he's got word next time too. Don't let him forget. Yeah. Ralls, balls. What's your best thing of the week there, Home Skillet?
Oh, I don't know that I can resort back, but to last week. But I'm just going to go ahead and say Kelly's coming back home tomorrow, and that'll be the best thing of the week. So
that's pretty worthy.
Yeah. Kind of an easy one. So, yep.
I bet you are. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Hey-oh! Yeah. I had my 3. That's what she said. Limits, Joel, but that Raleigh only had 2 so far, so that's still okay. Yeah. And again, no rules. So
it's called cap and trade, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not going to put up with that shit around here. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm just saying that's a good best singer, Mr. B. Mr. Joel, what do you got for us, sir, Home Skillet?
Dude, best thing of the week was realizing gains, as they say.
Outstanding.
I got my tendies. And then I put them into some old-fashioned investment
I dig
vehicles and figure out the next move. I have a next move.
It's kind of a marauder type approach. That's old school right there, dude. That's like making money bootlegging and then you put it into something legitimate. That's old. That's the American way right there.
We'll talk about this after we close off, but I don't want to cut everybody else off of this, but I'll just say I'm not trying to pump a stock. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know. You
This is
could
for
potentially lose
entertainment
money.
purposes only. Yes.
You could lose money. I encourage you to look it up yourself, but I think people should know about PSTH is the ticker. PSTH. It's Pershing Square Tontine Holdings. It is a
So it's Peru Sierra Tango Hotel. Is that correct?
no, it's a Pershing Square.
Sweet
Tontine
Lord, man.
Holdings.
Yeah. Military phonetic.
I know, I'm
Peru
kidding.
Sierra
I
Tango
know.
Hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know military words, but
We'll get you there. Yeah.
this one's interesting. It's a people have been talking about investment advice, right? Here it
Yes.
is. And this is not investment advice because I have no knowledge greater than any of you get. Well,
This is strictly for
probably
entertainment
better
purposes only. Yeah.
than you guys and most of the listeners, but
Not official
nothing
stock
special.
advice. Yes.
I don't take money for this. PSTH is it's a SPAC, and a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company,
Ooh.
which means they've gone through the whole rigmarole of listing themselves on the exchange and raising the capital. And for the benefit of a company that wants to go public, that means they don't have to go through like all the steps that you do when you IPO. You go out and raise investor. You got to go talk to the hedge funds to commit money, and you got to, Guggenheim partners and shit like that. The real investors, the institutional investors that are going to put their money in you and hold it. So a SPAC, and especially Bill Ackman's SPAC, PSTH, he's done all that, and it's the biggest SPAC ever in history.
Wow.
I'm saying, man, put some money in that shit. The rumor is that it's Stripe. I'm hoping it's Stripe, but it's not necessarily for sure. But if it is, you'll make money.
It's good word around a campfire.
You'll make
I
money.
like it. You
So
guys heard it
my
here
best thing of
first.
my week is just looking at the stock market, man. I had a great week.
Pretty cool. You take a couple days off work to just go kind of waller around in it. That's pretty cool. That's impressive.
That's not why I did it. Is because I go
Well,
no. It
You
was
don't have to get
stressful.
into
It
that,
was
but
super stressful. The stress is actually bad, but yeah, that's why I
well,
had to
yeah.
take work off.
For anybody watching, Joel looks like shit right now. He's aged the past few days, but he looks like Forrest Gump at the end of the running scene. But
Well, I was trying to decide if I should get beer or whiskey. And it was like, I just made money on GameStop.
it's whiskey.
Okay,
You got your Wine
whiskey
Valley
now.
sweater on, and you're drinking some wiki. It's freaking stellar. I'm
I'm gonna
jealous.
Drink beer like a poor person.
Yeah.
know?
It's for the peons, the cretins, the plebes,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's me. So that wraps up to me. Best thing of the week for me, honestly, and I'm just kind of shaking my hands, is watching the Reddit. I'll call it the Reddit meltdown, and sort of like the awakening of some other sectors of our society. I think it speaks volumes, makes me just more interested to see what's going to happen next. And often when I'm talking to friends during the week about different, we always sort of wander into politics, and some people, their hair's on fire, and some people are like, huh? But most of them, their hair's on fire. And I always just use the analogy, like, this shit's like water, man. We're trying to flow somewhere. It's going to get backed up. It swirls around. It finds a weak spot. It comes out the other side, and it washes around through and over. And that's what we're starting to see. And it's not near as fast as we want it to be, not near as clear. But more and more people are being involved and seeing what's going on. And I think that's encouraging, even though it's chaotic. I think that's part of the growth. So it's a little vindictive, if you will, but that's my best thing of the week. So somewhat piggybacks off Mr. Joel. But yeah, that's anybody have any closing thoughts, words, sentiments before we officially sign off and let our listeners get back to the rest of their boring lives without any reacher interaction?
Hodl. I'm just gonna say hodl. Hold on for dear life.
There you go. Hard to beat that. Remember, guys, you can find us here on YouTube. Watch us live as we perform every week for you. Also available on most every major podcast platform. So when you get there, like us, find us, subscribe to us on whatever platform it is. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies. They'll both love you for it in the end. So we thank you again. Make sure you stop by B&K Auto Salvage and tell them Reacher, and then get to see our good friends at Pendleton Mixer and Cigar and tell them a good day shopkeep. Till next time, we remind everybody to keep all the comments coming in for the love line or the stock suggestion line. And again, if you got any artistic talent and you want to kind of bust a move on a Far Reachers podcast logo, we certainly welcome that. And until the next time, kids, we will see you very soon. We're talking about The Big Short is our next movie, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so very much.